The nation's largest group of Republican advocates for gay rights is attacking presidential candidate Mitt Romney in a new TV ad. The log cabin Republicans say their goal is to let voters know about what they call Romney's long list of flip-flops on topics like immigration, abortion, as well as gay rights.
Mitt Romney opposed the gun lobby, even Ronald Reagan.
Look, I was an independent during the time of Reagan-Bush. I'm not trying to return to Reagan-Bush.
A record fighting the religious right. A pro-choice record. Massachusetts values. Mitt Romney.
We're joined now by Romney campaign strategist Barbara Comstock. Good morning to you, Barbara. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Good to be here.
Well, we have the log cabin Republicans who say there's a major trust issue with Romney because he's changed his stance not just on abortion, but on other major topics, too. So, Barbara, how do you defend that?
Well, actually, the governor has been very forthright about defending his record. And actually, you'll notice the ad said a pro-choice record. That is absolutely false. As governor, whenever Governor Romney had the opportunity to deal with a life issue, he came down on the side of life. Now, this tape that they're using, I mean, it's a silly ad. Governor Romney is running first in Iowa. He's been spending months out there meeting people. People understand this is a man of character and integrity, and that's why he won the straw poll in August. That's why he's still leading today. And right now, an issue that's very much at the forefront in Iowa is the marriage issue, because once again, unelected judges have come out and tried to impose gay marriage on the state without any involvement by the state. And Governor Romney is the only candidate among the top tier candidates who supports a federal marriage amendment. And this group that ran the ad is very much opposed to a federal marriage amendment, which is something that is strongly supported by Iowa, not only Iowa Republicans, but the state of Iowa. So that's what's really underlying this. And Governor Romney's been very honest about having changed his mind on abortion, but his record, when he was governor, he was on the side of life and was a big defender of marriage, because he had the same thing happen in his state that is going on in Iowa right now. Judges came in and tried to impose gay marriage, unelected judges, not having the people involved in it at all.
Barbara, in fact, every major candidate has the same position when it comes to same-sex marriage. They oppose it. So why do you think log cabin is singling out Romney?
Oh, because every candidate does not support the federal marriage amendment. The federal marriage amendment simply says that marriage across the country will be between one man and one woman. And Governor Romney is the only top-tier candidate. Mayor Giuliani does not support this. Senator McCain doesn't. The other candidates, there are lower-tier candidates who support the federal marriage amendment, but Governor Romney, the candidate who's leading in Iowa and New Hampshire, is somebody who does believe that marriage should just be between one man and one woman, and we should have a constitutional amendment, which is actually the Republican platform position. That's what it's been. That's what President Bush supported. And, Governor Romney has had a strong record on that when others have not. And the log cabin Republicans made clear that they would go after candidates who did support the federal marriage amendment, and Mayor Giuliani does not support it.
Barbara, in the fairness of time, we are going to have on someone from the log cabin Republicans in a moment, but quickly, do you think this fight may prove beneficial for Mr. Romney, and the fact that it could sway conservatives into seeing that the candidate has flip-flopped into seeing their way of things?
Well, Governor Romney has a strong record on taxes and on spending. I mean, he's tried to cut, he cut taxes. He cut the budget in Massachusetts, a Democrat state, by 15%. And people are seeing he is a strong mainstream conservative who wants to keep the conservative coalition of strong national security, strong economy, and most importantly, strong families together. And he understands that that's the winning coalition that Ronald Reagan won with, and that we're going to win with this year. And that's why he's leading in Iowa and elsewhere.
Okay, Barbara Comstock with the Romney campaign. Many thanks for your time. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Let's bring in now Patrick Sammon, president of the Log Cabin Republicans. Patrick, good morning to you.
Good to be with you.
What do you say to the argument that Mr. Romney's admitted, he's been wrong in the past, he takes full responsibility, and he's clearing the air and has this position now?
Well, I'm amazed that Barbara actually had the nerve to mention President Reagan, because in the ad you heard that during his Senate campaign, Governor Romney tried to distance himself from Ronald Reagan. And certainly as Republicans, we may disagree about certain issues, but we're unified in our belief that President Reagan was one of the greatest presidents our nation has ever had. And Governor Romney is having a difficult time explaining how he tried to distance himself from President Reagan. So I understand why the Romney campaign is trying to change the subject, but they can't explain why he's had flip-flops on a whole range of issues. They can't explain why he opposed the Bush tax cut in 2003, why he proposed a state budget that increased spending almost 11%. They can't explain his explanation for the flip-flop on abortion. It was a sudden conversion, and then 6 months after that supposed conversion, he was still defending pro-choice laws in Massachusetts. So the governor has a real credibility problem that he can't explain to the voters of Iowa.
Patrick, I want to say, to be fair, most of Romney's quotes in this ad are from his 1994 Senate race, 13 years ago. This is not from his presidential campaign. And Romney's not hiding the fact that he's changed his stance. So why are you calling him out?
Well, he has to explain the credibility. He has a credibility problem because his explanation for changing his positions just doesn't make any sense. In 2005, he was agreeing with the McCain immigration proposal, and then suddenly he was opposing it and criticizing Senator McCain for that. And on abortion, his explanation for his conversion has the appearance that he was making a political calculation as he geared up to make his run for president. So I can understand why they're trying to change the subject, but they really haven't responded to the substance of the ad, which is that Governor Romney is trying to present himself in one way, but his record tells a different story.
You know, your organization says that Mitt Romney will change his opinion to fit what people want to hear. The Romney campaign is saying this is a negative and personal attack on Mr. Romney. So why are the log cabin Republicans focusing so much and singling out Romney?
Well, we care about the Republican Party, and we want to educate Republicans about Governor Romney's record. We think it's important that the Republicans in Iowa know the truth about his record. Governor Romney's been spending millions of dollars there trying to present himself as a certain kind of candidate, and we think that Republicans need to know the truth about his record.
Patrick Sammon, president of the Log Cabin Republicans. Thank you, Patrick.
Good to be with you.